people 2 days.
Well, we need to clean the walls before too.
Get a pressure, doesn't the village have a pressure washer to take?
Yeah, we got a pressure washer.
Use pressure washer one weekend, so you got a day there for 2 people. And then the following weekend you go in, you prep it that weekend before after dries. Following weekend you go through 2 days, knock it out, so you have total.
Madam Chairman, we need to have our board addressing this and not the general public out there.
It's just a discussion, John.
They're talking to one another out there, not to the board.
It's just a discussion.
Regardless, is anybody protecting our cameras while this is being done? Who's making sure all this is being done before they start?
What do you mean?
The
You got cameras at the pool.
The cameras and the wiring and
They
the
have to be
lights,
covered.
just to make sure.
They aren't going to do anything to the cameras.
I object to it not even listing anything for us to see before we ever get to this meeting. That is not how we conduct this, and if you go in the past, I voted against those things.
Well, fine, then we can just have it bid out to hire somebody to paint it since it needs painted. We could table this, that's fine.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Could, I'm sorry if we were trying to offend you, we're just trying to help Noah figure out the process of how it should be done. Could you, wait till the next meeting and him come in with all the information, a better deal, where he could say, okay, we are approximately, it should take us 3 days, 10 hours, and honestly, I will, nothing to you guys, but this is what we do for a living. I can show him how we would do it and kind of have a better bid for you and approach you that way next week.
Because that's the only issue is what the labor is.
And then that way, I mean, we could
The
just,
rest is insignificant because our guys are going to do that and we have to buy it anyway.
but I mean, I'm not, we weren't trying to offend you. We're just like, okay, here's some things, you're young, let me help you go through the process.
14-year-olds do need help, they can't just sit here and be, why don't you have this?
Right,
Also.
yes.
Right.
You're 14,
I appreciate
you're trying to
it.
help.
Yeah.
So, so next meeting, can he give you a deal between now and then?
So that would be,
Put it on next agenda. Is that, I mean, I'm not trying to step on any toes, but is that
Nope,
okay?
that's fine.
And we can get with you two sometime, and then when would they need to have that to you for the next meeting?
Well, the next meeting's what? It's 15th. Let's see. So by next Wednesday, the 10th.
Okay. You think you could do that? To get with us sometime?
And it's just on the shine, you think, you don't have to go the rest.
Yeah, don't worry about the shelves and stuff. We'll deal with that later.
Is that okay with everybody? Okay, I agree with him, they did not have the right information to be bringing this up, but they're also young and not realizing what they need to have, so I could probably show them some stuff.
Thank you. All right, let's move on. Takes us to item number 5, approved Eagle Fire and Rescue request to modify its EMS medical director to Dr. Noah Bernhardson.
Yes. So what we're looking to switch medical directions from Dr. Ernst to Dr. Noah Bernhardson. Dr. Bernhardson is based out of Lincoln. Most of our patients are transported to Lincoln. His local doctor keeps up with his paramedic's license. We're just looking for new medical direction. Dr. Bernhardson is more hands-on than we have now. And he'll help us facilitate more training in-house. He'll have some of his staff come and help us. And his basic cost for service is $1,300. And we basically have allocated for $2,000 for medical direction. Our department's already voted on to move forward with this change. Dr. Bernhardson did come out to the station to meet all of our members. And back in July, we've been researching other medical directors and feel this is our best fit for our service. He's the medical director for LFR and a large majority of the Lancaster County volunteer departments. And I've reached out to the other chiefs, Waverly, and they're very happy with him. So if you guys have any other questions about Dr. Bernhardson?
I mean, Kenny had said once we kind of give them the green light, they'll come up with an agreement to get signed and everything.
Yes. He has contracts that'll spell out for exactly what we want.
Cool.
Anybody have any questions?
That price might vary a little bit with contract, just FYI.
For added training, stuff like that. Yes, fees.
Can we make a motion to approve it?
What's the current price for the person we have right now?
About the same,
That's,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty
It's
standard.
closer
in terms of-
2,000.
He's, I think he's
6,912.
19.
Yeah, it's about 1,500.
1,500.
Yeah, but again, probably like all of they go up a percentage every year.
Right.
Can we make a motion to approve it?
Yeah. And then
And we have had discussions with Dr. Ernst. We're not burning that bridge to transition. He agrees that he's too busy because he just took on the Omaha Fire Department. So his hands are full. So he has no issues, and he recommended us to go to Dr. Bernhardt.
Cool.
So
And
we're
if
not burning the bridge, so there are issues with this dock. We can go right back to the other one.
Alright, I make a motion that we approve Eagle Fire and Rescue's request to modify its EMS medical director to Dr. Noah Bernhardt.
Second.
Any other questions, discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to approve Eagle Fire and Rescue's request to modify its EMS medical director to Dr. Noah Bernhardt. Voting Dan,
Yes.
Marcus,
yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Alright, that takes us to item number 6. Approve preventive maintenance service quote from Stryker for the rescue unit 11 power cut and power load in the amount of $7,615.20. This is what we talked about.
This is actually a different one. So they came out and Scott and Angela, feel free to jump in if I misspeak, but they came out to, service the power loads and realized we did not have one on the units.
They came out to do 10,
Yes.
and we did not have one on 11.
So this will cover unit 11.
This will cover unit 11. Those striker costs, they're high tech, they have to have the preventative maintenance. So it's just aids in everything that we do.
And this is valid for 2 years, cover you for 2 years then.
Yep, this will match up with the current unit 10. So,
This is what Mackenzie though explained to us in detail.
yeah.
Yes.
Alright, any questions? Anybody? Alright, I make a motion that we approve the preventive maintenance service quote from Stryker for the rescue unit 11 power cot and power load in the amount of $7,615.20.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Voting on the motion second to approve the preventative maintenance service quote from Stryker for rescue unit 11 power cot and power load system in the amount of $7,615.20. Voting on that, John,
Yes.
Marcus,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Alright, that takes us to item number 7, approve the Eagle Fire and Rescue Station as the Tipton Precinct polling location for the 2026 primary and general elections.
Long story short, the school district had reached out to the county and stated that they no longer want to have voting up at the school gymnasium due to safety, primarily due to safety concerns with students in session. So they had reached out to us. We obviously don't have the best place yet to hold something like this. This was our best option as far as the municipality goes. Talked to Luke and Hank a little bit. I don't know if I've talked to you guys or not, but they generally seem to support the idea. We'd have to work through some finer details as we get closer as far as we rope off some areas where the public can't park, or they need to park on the street at the school, ball field, and walk down. The county approved it. They said the 2026. It's a non-presidential election, so they don't expect a huge turnout. And then
You want to
hopefully,
make sure nobody accidentally parks in front of the doors for any reason.
yeah, we'd have to do some, and that's
Put some
something we can
cones up or something. That would
work on.
maybe they could drive over the cones to get out, but hopefully the public doesn't.
We'd have to work on those, those finer details and kind
Pull
of
our vehicles outside.
something.
Yeah.
So that's what that's about. If we do not accept this idea, because it's the last, they tried Lutheran Church too, but they did not want to do it up there. So if we do not choose to do it, then they're going to move it over to Alville, do it there. Fire hall, well, so this is our last chance to keep it in Eagle.
Can we just make sure there's appropriate signage and advertisement either through Facebook or directly from the newsletter?
I think they mail everybody a letter to let them know about the updated polling location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not everybody reads those.
No, they don't. That's kind of a county thing. But yeah, we'll also advertise as we get closer.
I'll motion to approve. I'd rather keep it here.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
All right. Voting on the motion second to approve the Eagle Fire and Rescue Station as the Tipton Precinct polling location for the 2026 primary and general elections. Voting Marcus,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that takes us to item number 8, approve supplemental agreement for additional services number 1 with Schneider and Associates for the 4th Street reconstruction project in the amount of $120,400.
We've already seen the exhibit at the last meeting, so this is just the final agreement after we had, who was there? Was it John, Dan, Terry and I believe, spoke with Barbara and made sure everything was how we expected it to be and it didn't look good, so. Price didn't change or anything from last meeting.
And this is still not approving the whole project. or
This will
it's-
approve the engineering side of it, yeah, so we're kind of locking in
It will be
this.
like this down there.
And they've been out here quite a bit already, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were working on 4th Street today.
next meeting they'll
Well,
have.
actually, they were down on 6th and F too, so
It'll be like this.
looking at that tree and light pole in particular, so.
We'll have, Brad Slaughter will be here at the next meeting. I'm gonna talk to Maureen a little bit more, but, he'll be our bond agent for this, so that bond discussion will be the next meeting. So it's all coming out.
I did have a question today, and maybe a board can respond to. Which project are we doing first and when?
That's somewhat upon the contractor when we go ahead and have a bid.
All depends on, on the process, I suppose.
Okay.
It's a good
I mean,
question.
the one's gonna be easier than the other because, hey, you're gonna lay a water line on 4th Street probably and on F you're not, so. Besides having the embankment they gotta go ahead and put in and, I mean, regardless, they'll probably start tree removal on both of them at the same time would be my opinion. When you bring the guys in to remove trees, that's just what they do.
I had 4 phone calls Friday and today combined, so people are seeing them mark things and surveying, and they were saying, when's this going to happen, et cetera. And I says, they're just gathering information and surveying right now.
Yeah, a couple messages tonight too about it. So they're starting to see people out working and meeting and want to know what's going on. So,
And of course, we have to have the approval of the bond yet before they can even begin, but the engineering we can handle, so.
yep, and we'll wrap that all up with the bonds. So yep, it'll be all good.
It kind of goes hand in hand, 8 and 9, but I'd kind of like to know for my benefit why the flags are on the east side of 4th and Main. 4th and F rather. And they're not going to lay anything across that intersection that I'm aware of, so why are we flagging the east side?
I don't know. So when they called in the digger stick, and I looked at the digger stick, I saw the location map. But just from operating that system online, it kind of encompasses more than you want sometimes. You know, when you go to pick a location. So just because it's marked out that far doesn't necessarily mean they'll go out that deep.
But Snyder's themselves spent a lot of time around
They
that
were.
church, so
Well, that I don't know for sure.
again, it's the east side, we're not laying across the intersection as far as I know. We stopped right where the concrete begins.
probably, I'm guessing here, probably has to do with survey markings. I don't know what they, because Nick and I today saw that, I mean, they were pulling manhole covers, making sure
Yeah.
which way things are flowing, but they've been doing a lot of surveying, and I anticipate that was survey references, but we can ask, because they're going to be out here more, we'll ask them.
I think they're just marking everything within the right of way, no matter what, just to make sure. It's better to be over inclusive than under inclusive on them, so.
They also mark Fourth and A towards the east side, or the north side.
Oh, okay, like towards Wenzel Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing it is something to do with, like you said, the surveying.
Yeah.
Meat grades and things like that.
You go past, you go past, you don't stop exactly where the project stops. But we can ask. Know the exact answer.
I make a motion then to approve the supplemental agreement for additional services number one, the Snyder Associates for the 4th Street reconstruction in the amount of $120,400.
I'll second. Any further discussion?
Voting on the motion second to approve the supplemental agreement for additional services number one with Snyder and Associates for the 4th Street reconstruction project in the amount of $120,000, $120,400. Voting, Marcus,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
That takes us to item number 9. Approve supplemental agreement for additional services number 2 with Schneider and Associates for the F Street reconstruction project in the amount of $71,700.
Well, I really have no issues with this particular one, but until they get the project platted or drawn to where we can actually see what's going to happen, I still remain a little concerned as to the drainage. Make sure it does not go down and into that sand volleyball court, that it has to stay to the south. And we won't know that until we see the final drawings on this. Now they can bring it down and run it at a diagonal across the intersection, you know, and keep it on the south side of F Street. And that only makes sense from where I am, because that's where the valleys basically on that lot are. They drain toward the ditch. So
I did have 2 people call that live on there wondering if there are going to be sidewalks. I think sidewalks on both sides. And they were a little concerned where the sidewalks are going to be on their property because they have virtually no front yard the way it is. But
It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, those.
yeah,
Some of them.
it's going to be real close to the front door on some of them.
Yep. And it's tricky over there in some of those neighborhoods. I think I know which few you're talking about. But kind of across from them, you know, at Kraft's place, that's got a sidewalk. Pretty close.
Kind of, yeah.
And probably need to be updated, but.
We haven't come into it all.
and again, we won't know anything until we see a drawing. And having said that, I'd make the motion then to go ahead and approve the supplemental agreement for additional services number 2 with Snyder and Associates for the F Street reconstruction in the amount of $71,700.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to approve supplemental agreement for additional services number 2 with Snyder and Associates for the F Street reconstruction project in the amount of $71,700. Voting Dan,
Yes.
Marcus,
Yes.
John,
Yes,
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Takes us to item number 10, approve or deny minutes as typed for the previous meeting.
2 sets of minutes this time. One for the workshop, one for the regular meeting on the 18th.
Motion to approve minutes as typed.
Any further discussion?
I want to point out to the board that even though I feel this is what was said, so therefore the minutes are correct, that, hey, that Bobcat upgrade was more than that because the tariff put like $700 or $900 on it or whatever it was, so. But again, this reflects what I think was said that night.
Voting on the motion second to approve the 2 sets of minutes as typed for the previous meetings. Voting on that, John,
Yes,
Marcus,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that takes us to item number 11, approve claims.
I got a question on item number 37 and 38, the Black Hills Energy. I'm wondering why the fire department's less than the Department of Roads when the fire department has a hot water heater except down here running gas, and there's nothing up there should be running gas.
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought we
I don't know.
I thought we were gonna get rid of the gas up there. We discussed this, I know once before.
We discussed it a couple of times. I brought it up
I
several
don't think
times
they
too.
got rid of the gas. I think we turned the heater on. Or
Well,
lowered it.
last winter I turned the heater down to low. I mean, it was 50 degrees, something like that, whatever the low setting is. It turned down to low. I mean, it can be shut off during the winter, except if you chose to use the backhoe, you know.
Well, and the thing is, even with the minimum bill, I bet you might save $2 or $3. There's a minimum bill.
Yeah, if you look at your gas bill, now delivery, safety, and all that charge, so my bill is like $42, and I used $2.63 worth of natural gas this last month.
Right.
It was $42, the bill. So it's the ancillary, and it's going to go up.
Right.
They're in the Public Service Commission right now trying to increase it. I don't remember, John, is it 8 or 10%?
I thought it was 8, but
I think
don't
maybe it's
hold me to
8%, so it's even going to be higher. So until you get into November, you're paying more for the service and distribution than you are for the gas by a lot. But yeah, it could be shut off.
I thought we discussed that it has a block heater, doesn't it? Did we?
Probably, I don't
I
remember.
thought
Probably
we were
does.
thinking about just turning it off and just plugging it in.
Yes, I know we talked about turning off, plugging the backhoe into the block heater.
I mean, you probably could, but I mean, I guess, I always thought we should, if anything, we should shut the electric off to the truck bill that nobody's ever in before we put the gas to the highway shop. But, I mean, you don't want it to be freezing cold in there, but. I don't know, is the water on? No, I think it's on.
No,
There's no water.
the water's been out for 2
I mean, you
years.
can make it just fair, yeah.
I was just curious, I mean, I was trying to figure out why it was more, first of all, than the fire department. We have a hot water heater here.
Don't know. I don't know how, their meter reading works exactly. What was the difference? Where is it? It's like 79 cents difference.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about item number 1 on the additions under the park. Do we just leave the phone in there on all the time, or is there a cutoff point on that like there used to be?
Well, so I think what the park board had me do last year, maybe the last 2 years, it started on vacation mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a half bill, so you'll see that bill probably be half that.
Otherwise, it changes your number.
If you get rid of it entirely, you run the chance of not getting that number back.
That's one of the things. Sometimes you get a reconnection charge depending on who you are.
And they charge you a reconnection fee. Very true.
Okay.
And that's like $150. Which,
So
yeah.
typically you start that vacation mode about when?
now,
Now, okay.
We've got a sticky note to do it.
Yeah.
So,
I got the bill today and I told Terry, so don't remind me we got to call.
Okay.
we'll also get rid of we'll probably wait till the painting, but we'll get rid of the dumpster too.
Yeah, that would be after the painting.
Yeah.
Back to the department bill or the roads, the highway shop. I think we're close enough to winter now, we might as well leave it on, but I don't know, I'm kind of with Dan on maybe come springtime, because that makes us disconnected, and if we need to, we could always throw electric space heater in there in the winter.
That'd be the way to do it, if you wanted to discontinue it altogether.
That's what I'm thinking, just completely take it off, and we could plug it in during next following winter, and if we need to, we could run electric space heater for the 3 months. That way we got 9 months that we're not paying the 50. Might be $60 come next year a month.
I don't know, often they're even.
That's
Or whatever.
exactly, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like I said, we're close enough this winter, might as well leave it on, but come springtime, just have them disconnected. That's my thoughts.
Remind me as we get closer, and we'll. Other than that, those 2 pumps came in. That was an expensive one from Iowa Pump. That's number 85. Unexpected, but had to do it. Workers' comp insurance policy renewed. That's 126. That was 11,266, which is actually $100 or $200 cheaper than last year. Otherwise, I don't think anything else really jumps off the page at me.
Make a motion to approve the claim.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Voting on the motion second to approve the claims. John,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Marcus,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
That takes us to item number 12, report from attorney.
I guess on the subdivision agreement that we talked about in August, I have not heard back from the attorney for the fire department after they had their meeting. So I think we had reviewed it, sent it over to them, and they were gonna have a meeting in mid-August, and the rural fire their attorney hasn't gotten back to us on any revisions. So I'm waiting for that. We really need to get that in before we go to bid. Did some unlicensed vehicle checks with the office, and I think they've been doing some towing. We have a court date next Tuesday for chicken violations down in Plattsmouth for arraignments. Arraignment on the chicken violation. So we filed those cases back in August, and we have a couple people been served and a couple that haven't. So that's going on. We have a subdivision application that's an administrative subdivision. There won't be any action by this board on that per se, but there is a request to change the zoning to a residential estates on part of it. And that's probably going to be scheduled probably in October, or maybe after, for going through that. So you will see that roll through here. It's a rural place on the northwest side of town. And then the only other thing we've got on the agenda at number 14 is the sale for the tax sale certificate. Is going to be selling on September 19th at the courthouse, and we'll talk about that in that line item. That's about it.
Anybody have any questions for Maureen? If we ever do that, that would be the.
We have a judgment, and we've also filed it in the district court, so it's a lien on the property. We are in a 30-day wait in order to take any action on that. I think incidentally, Nick was contacted by the tax sale certificate holder to find out the condition of the property. And I didn't look, but I think they're still, next year is the earliest they can foreclose on that, I
I think so.
They were actually a lien above us because they were the real estate tax certificate holder. So one way or the other, this is going to come to sale. But we got her served in Lincoln. That's all I know, though.
He was kind of curious about the history of the place, what I knew, so he gave kind of a summary of the 15 years I've been involved with it. So
Yeah. That's all we know on that, though.
All right, thank you, Maureen. That takes us to item number 13, report from the clerk treasurer.
lead copper testing for triennial systems. We're still, Terry's working on, he's in the process of identifying 10 to 15 qualifying services. We'll have to have that all done, and it's due by the end of September. It's not been a long time, but Terry's getting there, I think.
I'm getting here, about 2/3 of the way
There you go.
ready.
So then, we had 28 unlicensed inoperable vehicle letters sent out on July 16th. Compliance checks were performed on August 10th, which resulted in 3 vehicles being towed. We do have 2 follow-up notices that I'm going to serve probably tomorrow or Thursday, probably Thursday when we're officially open. We had a couple that, removed the vehicles for long enough to try to trick us, and they brought them back. So we'll serve them, make sure they know what the law is. EFGA met on August 19th to discuss the proposed fire and rescue facility. They approved the lease of land to the village and rural. They approved a survey and division of land in 2 separate lots, and authorized the request of the USDA to release a portion of the block from the current law. Planning Commission has a meeting coming up on September 18th. They will hear a replat zoning change at the 202nd Holdridge area. It's in the state, or all out of the state. They will also hear an amendment to the design standards of the sanitary sewer system. That's something Marcus has kind of been working on for a while. It's to require service steps to extend to a point no deeper than 5 feet below the existing ground surface. Have a safety thing. That is what the city of Lincoln does, I believe.
Yep.
Lastly, I have on here Village of Eagles. Well, we've been talking with UNL for an environmental microbiology class. They're having in October. Students want to come out and take supervised water samples from the wells and community taps to analyze for counts of bacteria. It just kind of teaches them how to test in the field, kind of see what the lives of a water operating system is.
And we've been working with this professor and a student this summer, and they put a report together and submitted it to us along with their class. And so this is, I think it's good to have keep the contact with this professor in water quality. And so
I think we'll go ahead and do it unless somebody, has a particular issue with it. Then we can always
On your community taps, though, what are you referring to there?
shoot. They won't go to any private residential place.
Okay, that's,
Yeah,
okay.
it'd be like the shop, places like that. So
fire station,
fire
shop,
station.
yeah.
Second page, treasurer's report ending August 31st. Total income was $95,328.41. Last page is your account balances, savings, CDs, buried in the end.
Well, by the end of the week, you should know whether or not that your maintenance crew passed their test or not. They seemed to feel pretty confident when they came back on the test.
They both seem, yeah, like, it might not have been as bad as we thought, so.
Awesome.
Guess that's about it.
Next meeting is what, the 15th, so we'll have our budget hearings that night.
Can we come back for a minute to the EFGA there and tell me exactly what releasing a portion of that lot is from our loan? I mean, are they saying that we own it outright at that point?
Well, you could release a portion of the south half for the purpose of the new fire rescue.
Yeah, I know that, but
So we're gonna draft a new triple net lease agreement with the village, rural, and EFGA on that south piece. So we'll kind of have two triple net leases going on.
but that's part of our loan is what I'm saying. So they are saying that, hey, that part's cleared of our loan at this point,
That's
or?
the request that we're going to make.
Yeah, we gotta ask.
Okay,
We have to make a request. I can't make the request till we have a legal description. So we have to wait for a survey.
understood.
Yeah. We just wanted EFGA to say whether they were going to support that request or not. That
Okay.
was what the vote was for.
And to pass along one other thing that happened, we're not really involved, but they did do core sampling for the fire station last Wednesday. They bored, I believe, 5 holes, core tested, went down roughly 20 feet. It appeared, I watched them do 2, it was my day off, so I watched them do 2. And they went down roughly 20 feet, had 12 to 14 foot of asphalt and gravel, and then they hit clay. One hole to the southwest, they got down there and they actually hit some water. So there is a little water down there in the one corner. So anyway, the bore holes are done, so surveyors are out there about 4 or 5 days, so I think the surveying is done. I think the board should request from somebody that actually the intended site of the building be staked, because according to the coring crew, the building's actually moved 18 foot, I think he said, further east. Because I asked why the coring was being done where it was, because it looked like it was going to be where the front slab was. And he said, no, the building's been moved 18 foot further east. So I think it'd be pretty neat to know the corners of where the actual building's going to be.
There's pins. So we can see the driveway, how long the driveway
Well,
is.
so we can see how it's going to affect
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, because that right of way there, we need, yeah. Okay.
That's all I know.
Do we have any questions for Nick? Thank you, Nick. That takes us to item number 14. Consider possible acquisition of real estate located at Lot 3, plat of Lot 1, Rockenbach addition to the Village of Eagle, Cass County, Nebraska.
I'd recommend that somebody move to go into executive session to discuss real estate acquisition.
Motion, move into executive.
1 second.
Voting on the motion second to go into executive session at 7:56 p.m. to discuss potential real estate acquisition. Voting on that motion, John,
Yes.
Marcus,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Motion carried.